Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it?
No,
Is
we
it?
are.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Elias here with Weekly Wrestling Heat. We are back with another episode.
What
My
up?
boy Moises here. What's going on, people?
We got crowds back starting tomorrow, man.
Well, I mean, technically, crowds already started coming back with AEW, Ring of Honor, and other people. And Slammiversary is this weekend, isn't it? It does, and it has people too. So, man, it is an interesting time for wrestling. Houston is officially sold out of SmackDown tickets. I tried looking for some today and I could
Mhm.
not find any. And those ones that are still there are extra expensive.
Yeah, man. That's why when they announced Money in the Bank, I hopped on that quick. So I was lucky to get a couple of tickets to that. So I'll be at Money in the Bank on Sunday,
Ooh.
which I was excited about, but that pivots me into the wrestling news. Apparently, the way WWE is going to go with the Bobby Lashley match at SummerSlam is Bobby Lashley and Goldberg.
I don't know how to feel about that.
If Goldberg's there and it's honestly to put over Bobby Lashley, I would
I'm
love it.
fine with it. I'm fine with it. If it's gonna I'll put it like this. If it's Bobby Lashley and Bobby Lashley against Goldberg, and Bobby Lashley gets the win, and this builds up to WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or Survivor Series. Well, it won't be Survivor Series because it's champion versus champion. But if it builds up to Royal Rumble or even Mania against Brock Lesnar, I'll be fine because you would want to give Bobby Lashley a nice build up to finally put him against Brock Lesnar.
But they also wanted that Goldberg Roman match really bad.
So there's no telling. I mean, like I said, rumors are rumors. If he comes back, I think he'll go after Roman instead of Bobby Lashley.
You know
But
what
there's
I would
also
like?
the rumor that John Cena is coming back for a match against Roman Reigns.
You know what I would like is I would like um, Goldberg and Bobby Lashley to have their match, and then whoever won Money in the Bank to cash in at SummerSlam.
That would be cool to do. I actually would enjoy seeing that. What is your expectation? I guess here's the best part. Here's the question. What is your expectation on live crowds back for WWE? Do you think that it's going to be a positive thing, or do you think that the WWE universe is going to be not too forgiving now this time around?
I think there will be like a honeymoon period. AEW had it last week. They had it this week too, until the
Yeah.
Aleister Black promo, which I thought you guys were so hyped for this guy, and now y'all are saying what during his promo. Which they cut that out quick. You could tell the smart
It
fans
also
probably
go,
turned to them and
it,
were
it
like,
also
shut the fuck up.
it also goes to show that the crowd is non-forgiving and they take over no matter what. I
But then you
watched,
also had that Britt Baker segment where the crowd went ballistic.
but Britt Baker is actually over.
But so is Aleister Black apparently as of last week, right?
Yeah.
They weren't
So
saying what to Cody Rhodes, they were saying what to Aleister Black.
it basically goes to show that Cody is. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna drop the ball on Alistair somehow or some way, and that's my personal feelings on
Well,
it.
here's what I will
Uh,
say. I thought it was the whole Cody thing too. They didn't boo Cody. They loved Cody. They booed Aleister. They didn't even boo Aleister Black. They started wutting Aleister Black.
yeah.
So I'm wondering, like we have some AEW fans. Maybe they aren't, like the most sharp tool in the shed to where they can't comprehend long, drawn out promos.
I don't. I think it's the. I'm gonna be completely honest on this one. I think it's the fact that AEW fans have this cultism that if you worked for WWE, you kind of are the enemy. So it
And
took
you
a
have to
while for
win our
Christian.
respect. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's taken a minute for Christian, for Andrade, for Big Show, Mark Henry to, get the crowd with them. So it's kind of one of those things that I think in the long run it's gonna benefit them, but at the same time, I think it's one of those ones that kind of doesn't benefit them in a sense.
I can see
Does it
that. I
make
can see
sense?
that. Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
We'll dive into the shows, but a couple more wrestling bits to hit on.
Unfortunate news coming from NXT UK. Walter has suffered a severe hand injury to his left hand, and they're canceling
They're
the
postponing the match. So a lot of people are thinking it will work until UK
yeah.
Ireland. They announced that already.
I think it would be a good thing to put that match on UK Ireland because this is a rematch. So this is
Yeah,
something that we've seen and they've killed it the first time around. So I think they're gonna try to hype it to UK Ireland. Um Also, uh, actually, let's talk about it because this is actually pretty important. I guess nowadays, AEW hit over a million, 1.025 million viewers, and the demo
against the
continued to
playoff,
49
against the finals game.
against the finals game. But also, what happened is that the demo actually was point 0.03 points below Raw's rating. So I guess, I mean, I don't see how that matters because of the fact that there's over like zero point 0.6 million people more than AEW. So that kind of is kind of iffy when you look at the math, but it's good for AEW though. That means that they're getting their target audience back like they wanted to. So
Definitely, definitely.
congratulations to that.
And last bit of news I want to touch on. Apparently, Aaliyah is going to Raw, and Mandy Rose is coming to NXT. Which, what the fuck? I thought Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were going to challenge for the titles.
I guess that got changed once they put Shotzi and Tegan on the main roster.
Well, she's not Tegan anymore. She's just Knox now. Remember?
Knox. No, she kept her name.
Oh, she did.
Shotzi actually is the one that went from Shotzi Blackheart to just Talks Shotzi, and Tegan Knox kept her name.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Well,
So
yeah, you know how I feel about that tag team. No one cares. Um, let's dive right into it. I like the way we did it last week. We'll just jump around. Let's do or do you want to do the Money in the Bank prediction first?
let's do Money in the Bank predictions first because I think this is going to be interesting to talk about.
Cool, cool.
Money in the Bank 2021 predictions for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Show me what you. Okay, never mind. All right. Money Bank this Sunday. Second pay per view with the crowds back, full capacity in Dallas, Texas. Well, actually, let me make that clear. Fort Worth, Texas. So we have. Do you want to start from the bottom or do you want to go from the top?
Let's go from the bottom. So AJ and
All right.
Omos versus the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
I think we're both going to agree. I think AJ and Omos take it, and they'll eventually lose it to Riddle and Randy, right?
If Riddle and Randy aren't feuding by then, but I think the all roads lead down to that eventually if WWE doesn't screw it up.
So
Rhea Ripley versus
I read this cool theory, which I don't want it to happen, but I think it could actually be cool if it did happen. I don't want it to happen, though, because I really dig RK Bro right now. There's a theory on the internet that I read that what if Matt Riddle's the one that kidnapped Randy Orton, or that's why Randy's off TV, because Matt Riddle's kidnapped him and, like, put him somewhere.
I like the theory, but I just don't get why.
Yeah, I want RK Bro to, get a couple of more months together,
Yeah. Um I think it's going to be a mismatch because of Omos, and we really haven't seen a lot from Omos as a competitor. So they're using him as a bodyguard. They're kind of using him like AJ had Balak Fale when he was in New Japan. So I think that's how they're using him, and it's working. AJ seems to be having a lot of fun just doing what he's doing right now, and he's loving putting over talent. So um, we'll see. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I really want Rhea to retain this one.
I think we're gonna get a cash in here.
Interesting.
I think we're gonna get a cash in, and I think it's gonna be the Alexa and Rhea feud. I think Alexa's gonna cash in.
So that basically leads into our next match, which is the women's Money in the Bank. Liv versus Alina versus Natalia versus Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross.
Okay, so no out of
We're
the
still
box prediction. We're predicting this is the lineup.
yeah, well, yeah, this is the lineup. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3,
It's 8.
4, 5,
Natalia and Tamina
7.
were added last minute.
I think
Tamina got
something's gonna happen to. I think something's gonna happen tomorrow to take Tamina out, and it's gonna be a surprise entrant.
okay. So out of what we have right now, who are you going with?
I really want Liv Morgan to win because they've been building her up for this. But
But
I also
then
want
it goes
Zelina.
on your Zelina theory, right?
I think it might be Zelina. But you're saying Alexa Bliss, so this is going to be interesting. This one is a total wild card, in my opinion. I think this is going to be a total wild card.
Technically, can't Alexa just like superpower everyone to just step outside the ring while she climbs it and just wins?
I don't know. She can't get away with that anymore with the live crowds coming back. So
Yeah.
it looks like she might be dropping the character too. But
possibly
who knows?
you got that haircut on Instagram that looks like he's gonna play more into it too.
It also goes back to her old look, back her old Alexa Bliss look. So we'll see. Going back to the
Who's
Rhea
your
versus
pick? Who's
Charlotte.
your pick?
I'll stick with Selena.
Okay, and I'll stick with Alexa.
Okay. All right, the men's Money in the Bank match. This one is Riddle versus Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, John Morrison, Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, and Seth Rollins. I'm going Big E.
I am also going Big E. I would love Ricochet or Morrison to get it because those guys have been putting in work.
Been killing it. They've been killing it the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. But obviously they're probably bottom of the totem pole in Vince's eyes. So yeah, I'm gonna go Big E. I don't think Seth Rollins needs it. I think he'd work his way into that storyline with Edge without it.
I think that match is going to go towards. So Seth Rollins won't win, but he'll cause a distraction against Roman Reigns versus Edge, which we'll get into in a minute. And then the same thing with Drew McIntyre. I think that Jinder Mahal is going to cost Jinder the match. Jinder is going to cost Drew the match, and it's going to end up being Drew versus Jinder along the road.
Okay. So,
and I think something's going to happen with Riddle and Randy Orton somewhere along the line. So I don't think Riddle's going to win that one. And it would be ironic if Riddle won this one because of the fact of how the storyline's going, how Riddle got the opportunity to get into Money in the Bank and all this, and has been doing a lot of the Randy Orton move sets and stuff like that. And if he does,
remember when he told Damian Priest, he's like, "I want to cash in on the tag titles."
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. It's a guaranteed title shot. They never clarified what it's for.
Oh, that's true. All right, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston.
Bobby.
Do you think that it was... Well, okay, I'll take that back. I think that it was good to get rid of the girls, but get rid of MVP. I think that's going to come back and bite Bobby Lashley in that and the Angle side once everything gets done and over with.
I think the MVP thing is just to throw us off, and I think they're still together.
That could be interesting too.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen because I think that's what's going to happen because then MVP can eat a couple of spears from Goldberg in the build up, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go Bobby Lashley, and then we got Roman versus Edge.
I think Roman's gonna retain, and the reason being is because it goes back to the Seth Rollins theory that I have. Seth Rollins is going to cost Edge the championship once he wants to build for that match for SummerSlam.
I would like for them to add the Usos versus the Mysterios to the card. There's that 6-man tomorrow. So if I don't think they're going to have Edge lose on live TV right before the tag title match. So maybe some shenanigans where to.
I agree on that one. I think I was going to say I agree on that end that that they're not going to have Roman lose or Edge lose on live TV, especially it being a big occasion like this, the first TV.
And you're going to set the crowd happy, so the face has got to win.
Yeah, but what if Roman is over though? This is the first time we've seen. This is the first time we've really seen Roman, the heel Roman, in a live crowd. Like you saw him at WrestleMania, but it really that really didn't say anything because it was a big match feel. But when you look at this is the first time you'll actually see him on live TV.
Roman can lose on. They could have Roman and the Usos lose on SmackDown and get his win back at Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way I think they're going to go with it. All right, you want to go into NXT first or AEW first?
Let's do NXT so that way we can go talk about AEW because I actually want to talk more about AEW.
Cool. So NXT, first thing that caught my eye. Let's just jump around on things we liked. Yeah. First thing that caught my eye was that Santos Escobar, the Legado versus Hit Row they're setting up. I am very excited for that.
I am too. And apart from that, the story, the whole match with Dexter Lumis was pretty good too. And the way that that Indy came out, that was pretty. It adds to that story, which I like. But yes, the Legado versus Hit Row is catching my eye. It caught my eye from the stare down, and it just it doesn't feel like it's heel versus heel, but it's heel versus heel in a sense.
Definitely. I would love for maybe in a couple of weeks for Legado to add what I believe her name's Catalina, the Lucha girl that they have in NXT, just to kind of X out the Brianna Brandy factor. You know, I think that'd be cool.
I think Legado can use a woman in their faction just to have that woman factor in it in case stuff like that is needed. But would you use Katarina or would you use somebody else?
I don't know any other Hispanic women on the NXT roster except for Raquel, and I don't think they're going to use Raquel.
No, they won't use Raquel, and then I don't know. That's a good question.
And I don't want Zelina to go down. You know,
I don't think they would put Zelina down though. That's the only thing about it. Let's find out.
It would be a weird turnaround. They would have to do some weird storytelling. But Frankie Monet, she has that lucha history.
Yeah, but they're teasing lining
the Robert Stone and Mandy stuff, right?
With that. But I mean, you got Aaliyah going to the main roster, so it's like that's dead. So what are you gonna do with what's her name? I forgot her name.
Frankie?
Not Frankie, but
Jessica Maya?
Yeah, Jessica Maya.
Well, it looks like Frankie and Robert Stone and Mandy are all gonna be fighting for her service.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Have Mercedes Martinez get added to the Legado.
That's solid. That's a
I'm
good prediction. I think Mercedes will come and take out Jai Lee next week. Actually,
either
and that
that, but we'll. Um, I
Mercedes
want to
is too
talk
much of a
about.
badass to just get knocked out and not come back and go after the girl, right?
No, you're right. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do with her next. But I think she'll go against the. She'll go after the other one. The
Tian Sha.
other Tian Shaw. So I think that's gonna be interesting to see how that
And
develops.
there's so many women in NXT that we haven't seen on TV yet. So they might actually have a Hispanic heritage girl down there that we don't know about, or we're not thinking of right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's one of those ones where it's like you don't really know how many people they got. I mean, they have from what I'm looking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 girls on the
NXT
actual
roster.
roster, NXT roster. So we'll see. I'm interested to see who's
It
if
would,
they add it.
yeah, if they add a female. But I think the Catalina thing could be cool because it could be the whole power of the match thing um, that what's his face Escobar did first.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that because they have the potential. They have everything that can, that is. They have the potential. They have
And
the.
she's
She
been
has the potential.
developmental for a minute now because she worked a squash match on Raw. She worked backstage stuff with the Street Profits where they were calling Ivar cute or whatever. She worked a mini golf
Yeah,
segment thing. So they obviously crushed her for TV.
yeah. So she's ready for TV. It's just one of those ones where you got to figure out exactly who is, who is what or what she where she fits in because she has a lot of potential. Um, so we'll see. I'm trying to look for any other potentials, but I don't see. Honestly, I don't see anybody.
They might not even add a girl. They might just do a 3-on-3, which I think will still be fire. Next thing I want to talk about, and we'll build up because I know the Cross and Joe thing we both want to talk about, so we'll save that for the end. I love the breakout tournament match. I think both guys look
Yes,
good. I said
yes,
last week I think Duke Hudson or Odyssey Jones are going to win it. Um, I loved it. Ikem and Jiro looked good too in the loss.
yeah, and I think that's one thing that I liked about this match was that it showed off both of the it showed off both of these guys in the right way, regardless of who won the match. Um, Ikem Jiro looked solid, and you can still tell he has that Japanese strong style or Chinese. I don't want to say it, but he has that strong style from the land beyond. So it's like I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. Um, and I'm anxious to see the rest of the tournament because it's this breakout tournament has some good names on it. So um, I all one another match that caught my eye this week was the actual match between Bobby Fish and Tyler Rust. I thought it was a solid match, and I thought it told the story, and it kind of brought back a little bit of the undisputed era issues that were going on between all of them and how it separated. But it looked great. They looked good as a unit, and adding Kushida to the mix to come and do the save for Bobby Fish, it kind of adds to the story because the Diamond Mine took Kushida out the week a week before, the 2 weeks before. So it just
Yeah,
adds an element to that story that is keeping my interest.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
let's
Uh,
I want to give props though to the opening match, the Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai looked really good.
yeah, like how she went over. I love the slow builder. It looks like they're setting up between Raquel and Dakota splitting eventually.
Yeah.
Um, it was a good match. Those two deliver because they already have the chemistry because they work together, you know. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
The only thing
Uh,
that kept, well, it wasn't on that one. Never mind. I'll take it back. But I do like I I did like that Xia Li came over, and came out in after the match and I guess sort of challenged um Raquel. But I think I wish they would have held that one off a little bit longer and build Xia
yeah,
Li a little bit more because she still hasn't finished business with Mercedes and stuff like that. So um, we'll
it could
see.
be it could
Um,
be an easy out for a three-way SummerSlam weekend, you know.
yeah,
All right. Let's talk about the main event, dude. Like, I think that's. Oh, the Cameron Grimes stuff was hilarious.
true.
Uh,
The Sarai versus Gigi Dolan, I that was a good match as well. We forgot to mention that. Gigi Dolan took that drop kick from Sarai and sold it perfectly.
yes, he did.
Um,
Yes, he did.
and having Mandy come out, it kind of caught my interest, but I'm still wondering why is Mandy on NXT now?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with the whole Mandy thing. I was kind of hoping for the eventual team up with her and Sonya again down the line, but other than that, let's talk about this main event, dude. We had Gargano, we had Cross, and we had Samoa Joe as the referee. A lot of people upset that Gargano got so much offense in.
I don't know. I think Gargano always gets the offense in. Always, it's always about making Gargano always makes the match better, in my opinion. Any match that he's in, he always makes it better. The fact that he got so much offense in wasn't a negative in my opinion. I thought that DDT to when he did the DDT to the outside to Cross, and then he basically went for the win, and Karen Cross. I thought that was a good sequence. Um, I really enjoyed Samoa Joe's refereeing. Um, I thought Karrion Cross still looked good though.
I thought Samoa Joe's facials when you knew it was over, like when Cross was just destroying him, you know, the shadow suplex, elbow, like it seemed like Samoa Joe felt sorry for Gargano and he wanted to end it, but he did it out of respect to Gargano, obviously. But then, yeah, at the end, Cross put Joe to sleep.
I think that afterwards, how he got up and got the steps and just went to the back, I thought that added that element of, yeah, we're gonna eventually see Karrion Cross versus Samoa Joe, and I think it's gonna happen at NXT Takeover SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one that we're all waiting for. We're all waiting for Pete Dunne and Samoa Joe to tease that again. That Thatcher and Ciampa feud could be like a little side thing for them. Um, and
Adam
then
Cole and Bronson Reed looks to be promising as well.
I think it's too predictable. I think Adam Cole's going to beat Bronson. Bronson will go on to the main roster, and that's going to set up Adam Cole, Kylie, loser leaves town, or whatever they do.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening. They're going to have that turnaround match. This is one and one, and it's going to lead to that because even Kyle O'Reilly's promo basically alluded to the fact that he still wants to face him one more time. So I think we'll see that loser leaves NXT type of match, and then that person will get called up to the main roster
We
after.
haven't had an I Quit match on NXT yet. I think that would be a good stipulation for it.
I think so too, and given the history of these two, they killed it both times. I think
Yeah.
this third match might actually be a little set up to a one of probably match of the year if it's done right. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely, definitely. Jumping
that's
over to
NXT in a
AEW.
nutshell.
Yeah.
Um, let's see.
Elias, before we jump into A, or actually, yeah, let's jump into AEW. For the last 6 months, everyone's like, "Oh, they're not doing anything with the tag teams," and I was like, "Wait, this is what's gonna happen." Oh, they're not doing anything with the tag team,
They
and I was
weren't.
like, "Everyone is in a story."
Okay, go get to your point.
My point is, I said this would happen last week. I said Adam Cole's going to win a non-title match, and that's going to get them to, and Dark Order's going to job out to the Young Bucks. But I'm glad they didn't go that way, because now it seems like they will get that 5-on-5 win.
Yeah.
And I honestly, it's a little early, but I want to see that Hangman and Kenny match in New York at Arthur Ashe Stadium. I don't want to hold it out till All Out.
I think it's going to lead to All Out.
Do you think the 5-man happened in New York?
I'm
because you can build a lot of ways. You can have Stu Grayson and Uno face the Good Brothers 1 week. That kills 1 week of TV. Then you can have a one-on-one with Kenny and Brandon Cutler, Baron Cutler and Hangman. You know, and you could slowly build. You could easily kill weeks with because it's 10 people.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, they're not going to New York until I'm looking at it right now. They're not going to New York to September. All Out is in the week before.
Oh, All Out's the week before. Oh yeah, so then do that All Out. Yeah, I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
No. I mean, we're so close that like we're almost at the end of July, so you get a month built to All Out to get that. I think because look, they got Garland next week. They go to Charlotte the week after. Then they go back to Jacksonville. Then they go to Pittsburgh, and they do Rampage and Dynamite in Pittsburgh. Then they come to Houston to U of H. Then they go to Milwaukee, and then they go to All Out, in which it will be Dynamite, Rampage, and All Out that weekend.
So Justin LaBar said on his podcast yesterday, I think it's a really good point. What if you hold off the 10-man until the first episode of Rampage? Because you got to have buzz around it, right?
Yeah, but they're already going to do it. They're not holding off on that. It's supposed to happen next week.
No, it's not happening next week. Next week's the matches have already been announced.
Huh.
Next week's main event is the Britt Baker match, I believe. Then you have the Jericho match next week, the Jericho Spears. You have Orange Cassidy and Butcher next week. Next week's pretty much a full card from what I was reading.
Yeah, I guess if it doesn't happen next week, then it'll happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah, just hold it off till Rampage. Because you're going to have a big main event for that first Rampage.
I think they're going to probably put, Aleister Black and, Malachi Black and...
Cody's not doing it unless it's All Out. If he's losing, a pay-per-view.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything else. I'm looking at it right now. They haven't shown really anything about the preview. I think next week
you want to build heat. You want to build heat. This is what you do. You do Jade Cargill versus Britt Baker as the main event for Rampage, and have Britt lose in her hometown.
Oh, so you want to Bailey her?
Yeah, and just all the heat that Britt would get, all the heat that Jade would get. Sorry.
let's talk about the IWGP US title match. Did you enjoy that match, or was it just meh?
I didn't think I would, but I did enjoy it. It was predictable. We all knew Moxley was going to win, and I think for a predictable match, it was good. And I think Moxley's losing it next week
against Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's another announcement next week. Sorry, that we forgot about. Yeah,
I think I agree. I think it's time. I think Lance Archer might actually win this one.
Moxley's going to take some time off, and I think this is the way to do it because Archer's a hometown boy. He's from Texas. He's actually from Katy, Texas, but he was built.
Yeah, I know.
He was built from Dallas, Texas, his whole time in Impact. They built him from Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I remember when I still have pictures of when he faced Tommy Dreamer here in Houston.
Yeah, and then when they do the SWE show, I'll challenge him for the IWGP US title in a Texas Death Match and win it. And I'll probably head over to Japan and do a couple of dates there.
Here's something interesting. Do you think, and this is, do you think that we will see LIJ, or LI, or LFI, whatever they want to call it, happen? Because Andrade is looking for the Death Triangle. And he teased it. He teased it himself. So
man, but then you got. I would love it. But then you got the whole Pentagon and Phoenix are basically Big Show booked because they're face 1 week, they're heel 1 week. They're face 1 week, they're heel 1 week, and they're gonna have to turn heel because you got to take Pac out.
Yeah.
And then you're obviously gonna have to turn on Eddie Kingston too. So you're gonna turn heel.
What if?
How many times are they going to do that with Penta?
But what if all three of them turn into it?
Neville in LIJ?
Yeah. There's always, so think about it like this: La Facción Ingobernable in ROH has Kenny King in the faction.
Okay, so you're saying he could be like
in New Japan,
in New Japan.
Yeah. So you have the people. He's basically getting that group that he wants to just take over.
Man, but I would love to see Penta and Andrade in New York in that stadium.
I would love to see it too, but if they're working together for a minute, I can see that happening too.
Or Braun Strowman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some technical difficulties.
You know Braun Strowman's going to AEW. Tony Khan basically said it.
I mean, I don't really care.
He's not going to get over with that crowd, so you're going to have to do something big. And I don't like the idea that people are throwing out right now.
What is the idea that people are throwing out? Because I've been
that he's the fifth. He's the fifth person that MJF picks for Jericho. But why would you do that when you already have Wardlow?
I wouldn't put him against. I think Braun Strowman would probably fit in solo because he already has to get over with the crowd of all the. When you're dealing with AW crowds, you're dealing with the hardcore fans, and the hardcore fans still haven't forgot the stuff you've said about indie wrestling.
Yeah.
So,
and you said you would. You said you had your dream job. I don't know, man. We'll see. I could see WWE putting Braun Strowman back on TV next week, honestly.
I don't think Braun Strowman wants to go back neither. I think from what he's been putting.
Yeah, but if Alexa asks him nicely, I think he'll do it. They're like best friends. I wouldn't say no to Alexa. But yeah. Let's talk about that Britt Baker promo.
Okay, because I was going to talk about the FTW match, but
I want to talk about that too. Dude, when Britt Baker said, I lost to Nyla Rose a couple of times, but I am not on the menu, and Nyla and Vicky cut that horrible whatever they did backstage. I had to listen to it twice because the crowd erupted. So I don't know how they would go about it. This is the thing. Like, a lot of people crap on AEW. They're like, oh, the Matt Hardys and the Christian and the Big Shows and the Mark Henrys, whatever.
Yeah.
This Britt Baker thing, if they can pull it off, because technically it's heel versus heel right now, right? Nyla and
Yeah.
Britt got the Britt is a pseudo babyface technically, but if they can find that one challenger and do that EC3 Matt Hardy thing in Impact where they double turned, I think it'd be really good because Britt Baker is over right now.
Super over.
Yeah. That's why I'm happy that they have a Matt Hardy and a Christian, because Christian did a double turn with Edge, Matt Hardy did a double turn with EC3. Like, there's people that have been in the Mark Henry with the John Cena retirement thing. Like, these guys have all done it really well, so it's good to have those minds backstage. But yeah, I just want to say that promo was fire. I know you loved it too from your reaction. But yeah, let's talk about the FTW title. I enjoyed the match. I didn't enjoy the crowd because obviously Ricky Starks is the hometown boy. I think Brian Cage is a good babyface, and I think the crowd kind of crapped on it.
I don't think the crowd likes him.
Is it only because it was in Texas?
I think so, because Texas, like, Sammy Guevara got a nice hit, and so did Ricky, and Sammy owned the independents here in Texas. As you know, before they went, they were at Wrestle Circus, at all these
reality
wrestling,
yeah,
reality wrestling and stuff like that. And I mean, shoot, I caught Sammy and Ricky. I was there when Ricky was just a starter back in, not starter, but he was a rookie back in 2014. Like, he wasn't a rookie, but he wasn't.
I'm happy Brian Cage is away from Team Taz, though. I think Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs is definitely a match you can put on a pay-per-view too. Started off with those two big beasts just going at it. Yeah.
It also leads to the Cody promo, because Cody came out as Team Taz was leaving, or didn't he? Or he came in after that segment.
I'm gonna have to rewatch. I think it was after, because I think they went to a commercial break.
Okay.
I'm gonna rewatch it with my pops in an hour or so.
I don't know how it happened, but there was, I think it was either that, or it was no, it was NXT when Samoa Joe came out after the Diamond Mine match, or it was something that happened afterwards.
How do you is there anything else on AEW you want to touch on before we dive into the main event? Matt Hardy and Christian.
Yeah, Matt Hardy and Christian. I thought that was a good. Matt Hardy both of them actually look good for their age.
They look really good. That DDT on the stairs looks sick. The Matt Hardy locked in the submission on the outside. I didn't like how it ended. I thought it ended really quick.
I thought
Christian
so too, but
in and hit the Unprettier and was done, right?
Yeah. And then afterwards, the Hardy family came out, and then the Jurassic Express came out to kind of try to even the odds.
Do we see a Jungle Boy heel turn coming?
Maybe. Or we see not really.
No, I don't either.
I would rather see Christian. I would rather see Christian turn on Jungle Boy.
I don't want to see either of them turn. Jungle Boy is your baby face of the future. Him and Sammy. Your heels, you have Andrade and you have MJF. you are good right now. Do not mess it up. I don't want to see Christian turn either because I feel like it'll be forced. The crowd loves him too much. They tease the Hangman stuff too much too. Or sorry, the Kenny Omega stuff too much with Christian.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't want to see that right now.
I know we were talking about this before we went on air, but what did you think about the Cody versus Cody segment with Malachi?
I think AEW crowds are stupid.
I agree. um, I thought
Because
that this
you,
match.
before we went on air, you were like, "Oh, you know, Alistair has to earn the respect because he's a WWE guy." These guys were nutting in their pants for the dude to debut.
Goes to show how the IWC is weird.
Yeah, like I really want to see what Matt's thoughts on this are. Matt and Angel's thoughts are when they watch it back, because they are resident AEW homers, you know. So
Yeah.
I want to see what their reaction to it is. Monty probably fell asleep during it. Um, so yeah,
Let's talk about the main event. Darby Allin versus Ethan Page. I
yeah.
enjoyed the match.
I'll be right. I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm listening.
I enjoyed the match. I just thought that the ending of it when Darby did the coffin drop was I didn't see what I really wanted to see because again it goes back to the production value of what happened. The camera pretty much zoomed in on Ethan Page missing, getting out the way for the coffin drop, and I thought that took away from the whole thing.
Repeat that very last part you said.
When Darby did the coffin drop at the end,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell that Ethan had moved away,
Bro,
and the camera
he's in a casket. He doesn't know.
he moved away, and he was all the way cornered to the side. So
Bro,
I
he's
again, it
in a
goes.
casket.
I
It's
know that,
dark.
but it goes back to the production value that I tell you that AEW
I
sometimes
thought it
fucks
looked
up.
badass.
I know, I agree. The coffin drop looked badass. Again, it's nothing against the wrestlers, but the production should have known to not point the camera straight at it. They should have gone to the top view when Darby did it.
I
That way, it could have.
disagree because the explosion looked bigger, and they already fuck up explosions.
Yeah, I mean, that's my only gripe about it. That the count, and it's not even against the match. I liked it. I like the fact that Sting came out there and ragdolled Scorpio Sky. I like the fact that this match was hard hitting and stuff like that. It's just, oh my god, I the freaking camera angles suck sometimes with AEW, and that like it went like going back to the freaking War Games match, like the Blood and Guts. The fucking camera angles were things that killed a little bit of the match, and it pissed me off because this match was good. This match had the right action, the right amount of everything, and for them just to kill the one view, it just like they could have just waited till it exploded and then gone to another view. But no, it literally showed freaking Ethan Page tuckered in the corner, and I'm just in there like, really? Come on. Like
I
that's my
think
only gripe about it.
I think you're overanalyzing it.
No, I mean, it's like I said, it might seem like over, but that's just my main gripe. If you're gonna do something, do it right. This literally was like a good match. I can't even lie. I liked it. But yeah,
I think you're overanalyzing it.
I don't know. I think for them to have done that, the angle was just angles are everything, and sometimes when you do stuff like that, and I thought that the camera cut could have been a little bit more, but whatever.
All right. So, what did you think of the match, though?
I enjoyed it. I really thought it was. I really thought it was hard hitting. I thought that it was really good.
I thought it was kind of short. I think they could have cut the women's match or done it on Dark or Elevation. Um, because by the time you got to this match, by the time you got to the match, if you're watching on DVR, you see that there's like 11 minutes left, right?
Yeah,
And the way you're building this up, these two guys want to kill each other. I'd give it 15 to 17 minutes, at least. But where do Darby and Ethan Page go from here? Because we both are not thinking Ethan Page's booking.
I don't know. This is like one of those ones that just I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Darby could. I want to see. Man, I don't know what I'd do with Darby, but you know what would be cool? It's another wait and see thing. If the Dark Order beats the Young Bucks, I think the Men of the Year versus the Dark Order could be like a lot of fun backstage stuff. Because
Yeah,
Ethan has that sense of humor. I think Ethan John Silver going back and forth could be hilarious. You could call Stu Grayson out of state. I think it would be a lot of fun. Or Evil Uno out of state. I think it would be a lot of fun. But then
yeah, I agree.
you got to keep Ethan and Scorpio off TV for a minute, though.
It goes back, like I said. I hate how they're booking him, Ethan Page. Ethan Page is left Impact for a reason because the way he was booked.
But that's his fault. WWE wanted him too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like he debuted it at a good spot, and it just they put him back in a tag team. So it's like come on, like why? Like you should have given this man the solo run.
Also, are we done with the Elite Hunter stuff? Because Kazarian hasn't done anything now.
He's been doing stuff. I just don't see where it's going from here.
He's looking stupid because every time he tries to do something, the other team wins.
Again, AW booking.
Well, okay. So, if he's in Hangman's 5, I think that could be cool.
It could be.
John Silver's going to be in a tag match. We both agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's healthy, he'll be in it. But he should be healthy by then. So, you got Hangman, you got John Silver. If you're doing John Silver, you got to do Alex Reynolds.
Yeah. Then you got 10.
Colt Cabana and
Evil Uno.
Yeah, and have Kazarian come out and
Lost the Elite the match.
God, I can't believe I'm saying this. Put Kazarian in a feud with Nakajawa and Brent Cutler.
They're not considered elite. Have them come take out Gallows and Anderson.
No, but they're in a 5-man. You can't make them look weak.
I don't know then.
It would be funny if you don't want Kenny to look weak. Have Kazarian take out the Good Brothers and the last 2 partners that Kenny can have her. So you have the Young Bucks, but then he's stuck with Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler, and they get eliminated right off the bat. It could be very funny, but I don't know if you want to do that in your main event.
No, I think it's one of those that you don't want to see that happen, unfortunately.
Like, the crowd will pop, they'll get a good laugh out of it, but then it's the IWC. We'll crap on it the next day.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
So what can you do with Kazarian?
He has to live on with the gimmick. He has to do something that's going to be meaningful, because if not, him turning to this Elite Hunter gimmick, like he did back in the Indies, is not going to work.
Dude, I say you have him in a 2-week feud with Nakajawa and a 2-week feud with Brandon Cutler.
Would it work though?
You have Dark and Elevation. You got to fill time there too, right?
Yeah, but like I said, it goes. His booking is pretty weird, and that's where I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, what's the hype with this Wheeler Yuta guy? Because I don't see it.
I don't see it neither.
His ring gear looks like he got it from Goodwill. Um, I'm happy Sammy went over, obviously, and Sammy gave him the rub, but I don't really see what the hype behind this guy is.
Interesting thing though, I think that at some point with because I still think that the factory and the Nightmare family are still gonna go at each other, right? I just think Fuego del Sol is going to come in and be that saving grace, and he's gonna get the
Who?
contract. You never heard of
Who?
Fuego del Sol? Fuego
Yeah,
del
that's
Sol.
the guy that's teaming up
Yeah,
with Luther.
yeah, not Luther. That's Serpentino, something like that.
What's the difference?
He's the one that has gone against that went against what's his name from the factory, the head guy over the factory,
QT?
QT. Yeah, he went against QT and lost the match.
I don't care about this guy. I'll watch some of his tape and I'll let you know if he's good. Um, I
Anyways,
thought you were talking about Pentico.
no. Anyways, Slammiversary is this weekend.
Dude, that's gonna be a hell of a card.
Who do you think is gonna go against Diana Perrazzo?
Okay, you read that report today. We should have talked about it on the news. NWA, Impact, and MLW are working towards some three-way partnership.
Yeah. I think so. I think all these indie companies are starting to work together. I think eventually it's going to be Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, MLW, and I think even AW.
I would want. I think it's going to be Evil East because her and Dion are working together at SWE, so they're working together for recent. So I think it's going to be Evil East.
I think it's going to be Mickey James. Or do you not think so?
I mean, I wouldn't be interested in it,
Hmm.
but I was never a Mickey James guy like that. I know she's great, but I would never.
I don't know then. I think it's going to be. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Chelsea Green's still
I
not
did.
healthy.
Yeah. Well, she can't. She could wrestle, but she can't wrestle in certain parts. I think the where Ring of Honor is safe. They don't want her because they don't want her to wrestle because she's still injured. So
Dude, what if it's Selena and we're all like getting thrown off by this Selena De La Renta? Dude, what if Selena De La Renta is the girl for Legado?
that would be interesting
Oh man. Sorry,
because she is closing down her shop. She's closing down her Patreon. She's closing down all her shops. So usually when
Yeah.
people do that, it means that either one or two things: they sign to WWE or they're doing something else. Because
Yeah.
even non indie folks, even AW folks, still have their stores and stuff like that.
But they still have Pro Wrestling Tees. He's closing that down too.
Yeah, so I think she's going to WWE.
Dude, that would be crazy. I would love that. Just a fire between her and Brianna Brandy. That could be a lot of fun.
I am sorry, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Selena De La Renta would destroy Brandy in a promo.
But how many promos have we seen Brandy cut?
Not many, so that is. I still think that Selena would do that, but we'll see.
Because there were people when when Bianca Belair got called up, there were people that said it should be Brandy in that spot.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think if
We'll
Brandy
see.
has a, I think Brandy needs to go the Tasha Steelz route with her promos. I think it would be very hot. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Slammiversary. You think Sammy wins the title or no?
I think Sammy wins the title. I think this is going to be the start of the end for Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's championship run has a multi-champion. Uh,
And then
I
you
think
think
he's going to
Andrade
lose.
beats him too?
Andrade beats him for Andrade beats him at Triple
Triple A.
Triple Mania, and then I think that if it goes to Hangman Page, I think Hangman Page throws him for the AEW championship
Yeah.
because you don't want him to, Tony won't want the champion to lose the main belt, which is the AEW belt, before he loses the other ones.
Agreed. I'll give you that.
So I think at this point, I think this is the start of the end for this AEW Impact agreement, in a sense where you're gonna have Sammy beat Kenny in the match, since it's an ODQ, and then this is a match that's in Sammy's element, sorry. And then you go from there, and then you go to have him lose to Triple Mania against Andrade, which technically they can go back and forth on that one because Andrade is also part of AEW. So, and then from there you can have him lose to Hangman Page at All Out, which I don't think that they would want him to lose so many matches consecutively, because if I'm not mistaken, Triple Mania is like right before All Out.
Yeah.
Which is Saturday, August 14th. So it's
I
August
don't
14th.
think Hangman needs to win the title the first time he faces him though.
But I mean, then what are you gonna do with Hangman if he loses this one? It's if this match happens, it's gonna happen All Out. So it kind of coincides with the theory that this could possibly, because like I said, Tony's not gonna want Kenny Omega to lose the AEW championship before he loses any of the other championships.
Yeah.
So it technically, you go from July, you lose the Impact, then you go on and just build that feud against Andrade for the AAA Mega Championship. He loses that one, and then he goes down and then faces Hangman and loses that. That kind of makes him build him back up to the champion again, or if he's going to do something else to build that up again. Because he's had the title for a minute. I think he's had the title for almost a year now.
Yeah.
So I think it's at the point where people are ready to see a new champion in AEW, and I think the way that Hangman has the momentum and has the people behind him, I think it's a perfect opportunity to take him out.
Yeah.
And
We
that
shall
also
see.
give Kenny a chance to go to Japan if he wants to go to Japan.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're gonna approve that right now, because Japan's apparently having another outbreak right now too.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen next. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, by the way, if you haven't had a chance, catch Ring of Honor's Best in the World. The Rush match versus Bandido was really good.
Who?
Bandido.
I don't know who you guys are. Okay.
Hey, Rush versus Bandido was good. The Jonathan Gresham versus Mike Kanellis was really good. And also the Kenny King, not Kenny King, but damn it, I forgot his name. I watched the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I ironically, and with the crowd, I thought it was really good. But what was it gonna say? Flip Gordon versus EC3 was actually pretty good, decent as well.
Ooh, I actually want to watch that, so yeah, I might go back and watch it. All
Um,
right. Yeah,
Shane
call it a
Taylor.
night.
The
Shane
before
Taylor.
one more, Shane Taylor Promotions, which is Shane Taylor's and Con Moses versus Dak Draper, Dalton Castle, Eli Isom was good. And then Silas Young versus Josh Woods, the last man standing match was
So the
awesome.
whole card, basically.
Yeah, basically. That's who I want to say.
Okay.
Brody King demolished Jay Lethal. And Brody King is the truth. I would say this.
Who the fuck is Brody King? Oh, yeah. All right, guys. We'll be back same time next week. Unless something changes.
We'll
I'm
be
going to
back next
Vegas
week.
next week.
Are you leaving Thursday or Friday?
I'm leaving Saturday, so I'll still be here. But
okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching us. As always, follow our social medias at Weekly Wrestling Heat on Facebook and on Instagram. Follow us on Twitch at Weekly Wrestling Heat TV. As always, we'll be back next week with another fun-filled episode. We'll actually talk about Flammiversary and talk about Money in the Bank and talk about Moise's experience live crowds. Are you going to Raw?
I'm not
in
going to
Dallas?
Raw. I'm not going to Raw. So I live in Euless, which is right in the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth. So I got to pick. And I picked Money in the Bank because I just had a feeling WWE was going to drop a Goldberg or a Bray Wyatt on us. So I was like, let's go to Money in the
Bank. All right, so we'll be back next week. We'll talk about all that's happened. We'll also talk about the feeling of crowds at WWE for all three events, and we'll also cover Summerversary and Money in the Bank. So from everybody here at Weekly Wrestling Heat, we are out. Peace.
Peace.
And we're still live, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.